In a small, isolated village, there stood an old, crumbling house that had long been abandoned. The townsfolk spoke in hushed tones about its dark history, of a family that vanished without a trace one stormy night, leaving nothing but unanswered questions and a lingering dread. Curiosity consumed Sarah, a young woman new to the village. She had heard the tales and felt an inexplicable pull towards the house. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, she decided to explore the decaying structure. Pushing the door open, it creaked ominously, revealing a dust-covered foyer shrouded in darkness. The air was thick with an unsettling silence, broken only by the faint sound of dripping water. Armed with a flashlight, she ventured deeper, the beam flickering across peeling wallpaper and shattered furniture. As she stepped into the living room, Sarah noticed strange markings etched into the walls, symbols that seemed to shift and twist under her gaze. A shiver ran down her spine, but she pressed on, driven by a mix of fear and intrigue. In the corner, an old radio sat, its dials rusted and forgotten. Out of sheer impulse, Sarah turned it on. Static filled the room, then a voice broke through, soft and sorrowful. "Help us." Startled, she turned to leave, but felt an icy draft swirl around her. The voice continued, now clearer. "We're trapped. Please help us." Heart racing, Sarah moved toward the source of the voice. As she approached a door at the end of the hallway, it creaked open on its own, revealing a staircase leading down into darkness. Compelled by a force she couldn't understand, she descended, her flashlight flickering ominously. The air grew colder, and the whispers intensified, echoing in her ears. "Join us. Forever." At the bottom she found a small, dimly lit cellar. In its center stood a cracked mirror, its surface distorted and murky. The whispers surrounded her, and she felt a presence behind her. Turning quickly, she found nothing, but the feeling of being watched lingered. Then she caught a glimpse in the mirror, shadows shifting and swirling, faces appearing in the glass, their eyes wide with terror. Panic surged through her. "What do you want?" she cried out. The whispers converged into a singular voice, deep and mournful. "You must stay. We need a soul to escape." Before she could react, a cold hand gripped her shoulder. Sarah spun around, heart pounding, but found only the empty darkness. Desperate to escape, she dashed back up the stairs, the whispers rising to a deafening crescendo. As she burst through the front door, the house seemed to groan, its walls closing in. She sprinted into the night, the whispers trailing behind her, fading into the wind. Breathless and trembling, Sarah made it to the village square, but the chill of the house clung to her. That night, she couldn't shake the feeling of eyes watching her from the shadows. Weeks passed, but the whispers haunted her dreams, growing louder each night. She started seeing glimpses of the family, faces twisted in anguish, reaching out to her. Each day she felt a piece of her will slip away. One evening, unable to resist the pull any longer, she returned to the house. This time it felt different. The air was thick with anticipation, as if the house had been waiting for her. The moment she crossed the threshold, the door slammed shut behind her. The whispers enveloped her, soothing yet sinister. "You've come home." Sarah felt an overwhelming sense of peace wash over her, as if she finally belonged. The house welcomed her, and she could see the family, now smiling, beckoning her forward. As she stepped deeper inside, the last remnants of her old life faded away. The mirror reflected not her own face, but a new one, an expression of contentment. The villagers still tell the tale of the abandoned house, but now they speak of a new figure that roams the halls, Sarah, one of the whispers, forever bound to the walls. And sometimes, on quiet nights, you can hear her voice echoing in the dark, inviting the next curious soul to join her. Thanks for watching. Subscribe Trendy Tales and Stories for more stories.